When you are traveling with 10 people, food becomes a big part of planning a vacation. And honestly, we love trying local restaurants and experiencing new places, but eating out every meal with our family of 10 can add up quickly. For us, cooking some meals at a cabin isn't about avoiding spending money. With 8 kids, we know we're going to spend money. It's about being intentional with what we spend so we can make room for more memories. So before our Gatlinburg, Tennessee trip, I planned out all our meals, stocked up on snacks at Costco, and then we stopped at Kroger and Pigeon Forge to getting everything we needed to feed our family of 10 for the week. Today, I'm sharing what we bought, how we planned our meals, and what it looks like to feed 10 people in a cabin on vacation. Hi, I'm Amber, mom of 8. Welcome to Mama Simply. We're a family of 10 living in rural Indiana, and around here, I share simple rhythms, real food, and everyday life with 8 kids. If you enjoy grocery hauls, easy meals, large family life, and practical tips, I'd love to have you subscribe. There's always room for more around our table. We recently took our whole family to the Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge area for a vacation. And one of the biggest things I think about when we travel is food. Not just the cost, but the logistics. When you have a large family, every decision takes a little more planning. How much food did we need? How much space do we have? What meals would actually be realistic after a busy day of activities? What can we make that everyone will enjoy? And also, what are the logistics of the kitchen? Do we have a dishwasher? Do we have a refrigerator? What about taking the cooler? Can we take food with us in the van? Buy food ahead of time? Is there a big cost difference? So before we left home, I made a simple plan. I wanted balance. Some meals at the cabin, some meals eating out, easy breakfast, simple lunches, and dinners that felt like a family meal without taking over our vacation. And because we were driving our 12-passenger van, we decided not to pack a bunch of coolers and take up valuable space. Instead, we brought our Costco snacks with us and planned to grocery shop once we arrived. Before leaving for Gatlinburg, we stocked up on snacks at Costco. With a family of 10, snacks are something we always have to think about. Having easy snacks available means we aren't constantly stopping somewhere hungry, and it gave us flexibility during our busy vacation days. And of course, a visit to Costco wouldn't be a visit there without having to look at all the neat toys and everything that they had. The kids got just a little distracted looking at all of the toys that they have on the shelves, and it gave me an excuse to shop while Dad took them and looked at all the toys. And of course, they found so many things that they absolutely wanted and couldn't live without. So Greg did a great job keeping them in line and helping them look around the store while I was busy grabbing our snack haul. And while we were at Costco, we figured this was the perfect time to grab some dinner. So we grabbed Greg's favorite cheesy potatoes, and I'm going to grab a rotisserie chicken, have a quick and easy dinner, and we are stocked up and ready for our trip. And I grabbed some diapers. So between snacks, dinner, and diapers, I think we are ready to pack up. Okay, so we finally made it to Pigeon Forge. We had a couple stops along the way. We stopped at a rest stop in Ohio, and we had lunch at the rest stop. So be sure to check out my other video there. We also stopped at Buc-ee's, got out, stretched our legs, walked around. Be sure to check out my video for that. And now we have made it to Pigeon Forge. And the first thing that we did was we headed to Kroger to finish up our grocery shopping. And one thing that I really love about a cabin as opposed to a hotel, we were kind of debating back and forth what we wanted to do. But we went with the cabin because we wanted the refrigerator. We wanted to be able to have a full kitchen available, able to cook our meals, and that helps us have so many more options. We can have breakfast before heading out for the day. We can pack simple lunches, and we can come back after a long day knowing that we have food ready and waiting. Some things that we picked up fresh were breakfast foods. So we grabbed some eggs, we got some sausage, bacon, things to make quick and easy breakfast. We picked up sandwich supplies. Our kids love pickles. Greg loves chips. And we grabbed some lunch meat, some cheese, and we had some condiments already that we had packed for our lunch. So we didn't need to grab the mayonnaise and the mustard. But we stocked up on some more lunch meat, bread, all that stuff. We also got hot dogs and hot dog buns to have for lunch one day. We picked up some fresh fruit. I also picked up some sides for us to have along with our dinners. I found these really cute little snacks, little Debbie cakes, red, white, and blue for the 4th of July. So I grabbed those. And I picked up some dinner ingredients, and one of the dinners we were planning on having was spaghetti and pasta. Noah wanted to make his famous fettuccine alfredo recipe, and I grabbed some spaghetti sauce to have spaghetti one night, and we grabbed stuff for tacos, and we just wanted to have things on hand to make really quick, simple dinners. And having 8 kids, simple is the goal. And I didn't want to be spending vacation making complicated recipes or spending hours in the kitchen. I just wanted quick and easy. So our cart is full and we are ready to head to the cabin. And this is the meal plan that I sat down and we put together. I wanted to make sure that we had breakfast planned for every day, lunches, and coordinate everything with what we were planning on doing that particular day, as well as planning our eating out. And we decided as a family we were going to have breakfast. And for breakfast, I rotated really simple options. One day we had scrambled eggs, we made bacon, and also hash browns. So this was a really quick, filling, easy breakfast, and the kids like scrambled eggs. It only takes a few minutes to just scramble those right up, and breakfast is served. And then for bacon, that was 2 pounds of bacon, and I also grabbed a bag of one of the large bags of the hash browns. And so this was a hearty breakfast that we had before we were ready to head out to the aquarium on our first day. And be sure to check out that video. I have that posted as well. And another morning I made scrambled eggs again, and just quick and easy scrambled eggs, and everybody loves those. I had a pound of sausages, so we browned those up, and I also had some fresh fruit in there, and just rotating this kind of makes the same foods feel less boring. and quick and easy breakfast. Again, we just used paper plates, so it made for quick and easy cleanup. And my kids love fresh fruit, and people have commented like, you don't buy fresh fruit. Well, I do, but it's like a one-time meal thing, so it doesn't last. So if you buy fresh fruit in our house, it's immediately gone. And so we had this breakfast before we headed out to Cades Cove, and be sure to check that video out as well. And I share our day at Cades Cove, but this was a hearty breakfast before that. And for the other breakfast, I brought oatmeal, and I really enjoy this Wildberry protein oats by 7 Sundays. I got that at Costco. Every day, Greg has to have his coffee and his coffee creamer, his favorite Starbucks coffee creamer, and I also had cereal on hand for the kids. And those mornings were when everybody just needed to have something quick, something easy. And you can see Noah's bowl is actually a Tupperware container. And the goal is not having a perfect breakfast. And the kids, I had a container of blueberries as well. And so the kids had cereal and blueberries, or the choice of oatmeal. And the goal is really, we just want everybody fed and ready for the day. For lunches, I kept things very quick and very easy. For the most part, it was simply sandwiches, and on the days that we ate at the cabin, hot dogs and sides. And these were meals that the kids could help with, and they really didn't require a whole lot of preparation. And it was really super simple and easy, just giving everybody sandwiches. We bought chips when we were at Costco, and we brought pickles when we were at Kroger, so everybody enjoyed that. And when we were ready to head out for the day, I would pack the cooler up with bottles of water and some ice packs. And so I would just really fill this up with waters and ice. So that way we would have something nice and cool to drink. It was incredibly hot while we were there in Gatlinburg. There was a heat wave, so plenty of water. And I would pack snacks as well. And so we were set for the day. And while we were traveling, we also would pack a lunch. And this would be really nice that we would have all of our sandwich stuff ready and just everything put in the cooler, and we could just pull over whenever we saw a rest stop or a good picnic area, and just packing our lunches and being cognizant of that just helps save so much money. And really nobody has any complaints about the fact that it's just a super, really, really simple, light lunch. And especially after a morning of exploring, nobody wants to make a complicated lunch. Everybody just is pretty much ready to go on with the day, whether that's nap time or exploring some more. And when you're on vacation, just having nice hearty meals that satisfy and fill everybody up, that's the goal. And then we just want to keep moving on because there's so much to look at and so much to do. And we spent a lot of our time in Gatlinburg hiking. This is a short hike that we took to Cades Cove, and everyone enjoyed the day. And there was definitely some complaining, but having brought lunch with us, as well as having water bottles and snacks in the van, just really helped to make the day go a whole lot more smooth. For dinners, we wanted meals that felt a little bit more special, but were still pretty simple. So on this occasion, my husband grilled chicken legs. Chicken legs are super, super simple, super cheap. And this is about 4 pounds of chicken legs. I grabbed those from Costco. I had 3 boxes of pasta salad, and I cut up the watermelon as well. And so that made for a quick and easy dinner, and we had friends bring us some special cookies. Another dinner that we had was our oldest, Noah, made his specialty chicken Alfredo, and Greg grilled up 2 pounds of chicken thighs on the grill while I made the tossed salad. The kids all like Caesar salad, and Noah made his gourmet Alfredo sauce using ragu, and he cooked the noodles and made dinner for us that evening. And everybody helped with the cleanup. So having the chicken grilled just adds a little bit more flavor, makes it just a little bit more special. And everybody really appreciated the meal and pitching in, and everybody just helping with the cleanup just helps the kids take ownership and contribute so that everybody has a role and everybody helps out. And this is the part that people sometimes miss. Yes, cooking at the cabin absolutely can save money, but for us, it became part of vacation. Some of my favorite moments weren't necessarily the big attractions. Rather, they were sitting around the table, talking about our day, watching the kids help, having everyone together. The meal itself became a memory. And that's why we chose to do a combination of eating out and cooking out at the cabin. It gives us the best of both worlds. And it was so enjoyable just sitting out together on the patio, looking at the gorgeous view from our cabin and enjoying the mountains. So would we do it like that again? Cooking meals at the cabin instead of eating out? Yes, absolutely. It did take planning ahead. It took some work, but with everyone pitching in, it didn't feel like a burden. My husband grilled. He did all of the grilling. I prepared the meals and the sides, whether that was pasta salad, whether that was cutting up watermelon, the fruit, and the kids helped with cleanup. When everyone contributes, it simply becomes part of family life. For our family, vacations aren't about doing everything the most expensive way or even the easiest way. They are about being intentional with our time, our money, and our memories. If you are planning a vacation with a large family or even a small family, really a family of any size, I hope that this gave you some realistic ideas for feeding everyone in your family while still enjoying the trip. Thanks for coming along with our family of 10. Be sure to check out my other videos where we review Was It Worth It? And next, coming up is my video where we show going to Cades Cove. We'll see you next time.